All right, we're live, and we're actually doing a live kind of a review, but just mostly my thoughts and opinions about the Kyocera Hydro Reach for Boost Mobile. Now, I know this is not a brand new device, but it's been out for some time. I never actually had it, and so after purchasing it and playing around with it for some time, kind of wanted to offer up my thoughts and opinions about it. So, yeah, welcome to another live episode on Aloha Android. My name is Tito. And, yeah, so we're going to kind of just, jump right into it. I'm trying to load up YouTube right now just to make sure if there's, like, any questions. For some reason, lately, Hangouts has actually been just a little bit bad for me because it's not showing up so much. So let me go ahead and I'm probably going to end this one and just start another live broadcast because it's not showing up here on YouTube. So anyone that leaves a YouTube comment, I'm not going to be able to see it. So that's not a good thing. Well, hold on. Okay. Well, I got a notification to it. That's weird. YouTube has been very weird lately, and I'm wondering, yo, what's up, John? YouTube's been very weird lately. I'm wondering if this has to do with the whole thing that Hangouts on Air is going to merge with YouTube Live, because it seems like sometimes when I launch a Hangouts on Air, it doesn't show like on YouTube if you go into the app. Luckily, I got the notification, so it does show, so I can see YouTube comments. But okay, as I was saying, I'm going to basically talk a little bit about the Kyocera Hydro Reach. Just kind of do this live. Anyone that's interested can actually come in and ask questions, and I'll answer it on the spot about this device. I am going to dunk it in water in front of you guys right now, so you guys can pretty much see how it holds up with water. So I have my little test tank right here. It's a cup of water, and yeah, my goofy ass is wearing some freaking scuba goggles, just to kind of like, I don't know, liven up the moment or whatever, just something for y'all to laugh at. Check your YouTube studios. Mine says no views, no subs, no watch times. Yeah, there might be. I don't know, because I know that YouTube Live is supposed to. It's right around the corner. We're in September. It's right there around the corner. We're like the 13th, and it's supposed to launch sometime. I think it was the 27th or the 21st, something like that. I don't know. So maybe they're doing some changes already, and it's causing YouTube to kind of glitch out. But anyways, so the Kyocera Hydro Reach. You can get this at an upgraded price of $49.99. You can find it at Walmart for $49.64. Some stores are selling it for like a price gouging, insane price of $149.99. But I gotta say, upon purchasing this device and upon getting a hold of it, activating it, using it on my as my daily driver, I'm really shocked by Kyocera on how well built this device is. This device actually does not feel like, I don't know if you guys ever seen like the Hydro Reach, not Reach, was it the Icon, the Hydro Icon, or gosh, what was Virgin Mobile's one called? I forgot the name of that one. But any of the previous ones, they just they seem like they're built okay. You can tell that they weren't like the idea of just how the phone looked, how the edges of the phone looked and everything. You just feel like that at that time, they were more focused on durability, making the phone look rugged. And in this case, while this phone is apparently supposed to be, have that same rugged feel or whatever, it's actually, it looks pretty sleek. I don't know if you guys can tell, but like there's like this chamfered corners on the screen itself, so it just kind of gives it this. Let me turn off my little stupid scuba goggles. Remove all effects. There we go. But anyways, yeah. So it has like these really weird like chamfered edges on the screen. It's kind of cool, I have to say. One thing that really surprised me about this device is the cameras. The cameras on here is really good for what it is. Now, I'm not saying that it's better than say like the G Stylo or the Stylo 2 or the J7. It's nothing like that, but the cameras on this phone is surprisingly well. When you've used Kyocera and you've used like their Hydro series devices, um, you kind of think like they don't put a lot of thought into what kind of camera sensor they put into their device because their overall goal is to shoot at it being waterproof and being dustproof to a certain degree. So it's nice to see that besides them keeping up with their, you know, their main niche, which is being a water resistant and dust resistant, it's nice to see that they kind of took the time to also consider what kind of camera sensors they put in here. Now, I wasn't able to grab off the internet exactly what sensors they're using, but I can tell you guys right now that the sensors on here is quite nice. They're not great in low light, so if you're thinking to get low light shots, you're not going to get it with these. But with enough lighting, you could get some really nice pictures out of them, as well as if you use Duo for video calling, you can expect some nice some nice visuals during your video call with the right amount of light. But it being in like dark areas, areas with very poor lighting, and the cameras suffer. But that's to be expected because a lot of mid-range Android devices kind of suffer in that department of low light shots. Most people just started paying attention to like low lighting shots when the G4 came out, and that's when all of a sudden that was added on to the list of other things that apparently matter to people when it came to their Android smartphones, like 60 frames per second video watching and stuff like that. And the only reason why I say that is because, of all honesty, sure, watching a video that's in 60 frames per second versus 30 frames per second, you can see a difference. But it's like I don't know. To me, it's almost considered close to like a placebo effect because really, before that ever became important, no one really even cared about 60 frames versus 30 frames. I mean, people just wanted it to be in 1080p, and that's what they wanted to see. And when they didn't know that, what they were watching was 1080p at 30 frames per second, it didn't bother them that they didn't have 60 frames per second because they still wanted 1080 high, an HD resolution, and that's what they got. So, but low light shots became a part of that list of things that made a great smartphone. When the G4 came out, it was bragging about, I think it was like their f1.8 aperture reading for low light shots is when people just really started to care about that. So let's see here. So anyways, but the cameras do very well. I should show you guys right now. I'll take a picture of this and we'll see from here. I'll show you guys how the cameras look. They're not bad at all. They take pretty good pictures. I know that phrase is just really bad to say. They're not bad at all. The cameras, like I said, is very surprising. So the only thing I can really complain about the cameras is that there is a grainy effect to it, though, and that's when like you're indoor. So indoor shots, and you're gonna have this grainy effect. Okay, I'll show you guys right now. Okay, so you guys see, like, as far as the capturing color and stuff like that, it's okay. But there is a grainy effect to it. I don't know how well you guys can see. I'll put it closer. And, like, there is this grainy effect, and that's something that, definitely you definitely want to be on the lookout for, is that grainy effect. Besides that, let's back out here and let's flip the cameras around. And I'll take a picture with the front-facing camera. Well, front-facing, but the main camera itself. So we'll get it to focus in. Okay, so it took what looks like to be shots. Okay, so I mean, it's a hell of a lot better than like the Hydro Icon and how it used to take photos, but nothing that much bigger. Like I said, it's not going to be on par with like the Stylo 2, the J7. Even though like it's kind of weird because I compared this to the J3, and the J3 has like it's like indoors it gets pretty dark. It doesn't do well with low lighting. The J3 doesn't. This one seems to be just a little bit brighter than the J3, but it has that grainy effect, and that could be an issue. But like being outdoors, which most people normally take pictures outdoors anyways when they're like out and about during the day, they want to capture something they see, they want to take a selfie at a certain place, it's going to hold up just fine. So the cameras, for the well, actually, I didn't actually give you guys the whole experience of the cameras, and I almost forgot this. But there's one cool thing about the cameras that I do like. One cool thing, and that's the modes. So you have different modes. I don't know if you guys can see this. See if it focuses in. But you have different modes like continuous shot. You even do have a time-lapse mode right down here at the bottom. And that's actually kind of nice. So record video of a time-lapse, you could do that. You got manual mode settings, so you can really tinker around with it. You got scene, so select scene according to objects and situations. And you also have effects, shoot images with customized effects. And this works in both camera and video mode. Let's see, Isaac Diaz, hello. Hey, Isaac, how's it going? Manny, what's good, man? Hey, I haven't heard from you guys in a while. How you guys been? So, yeah, it does have some features into it. Like I said, like the cameras, it's like it's hot and cold. You have good points, you know, like being outside, you know, with sunlighting, you're gonna get okay shots with the cameras on the Hydro Reach. But indoors is where it suffers. Front-facing camera has a grainy effect to it. Even with lighting like this, it still has a grainy effect to it. But the good part is that if you take a selfie with this kind of lighting, you can still see things. Like you can see objects in the background. You can see yourself clearly. It's just the grainy effect is just something that's going to kill it for people. But all these modes are really nice to have. If you're a person that just likes to play on the camera, like, you know, I'll go into, well, let me flip it around here. I'll go into selfie mode. And then when you go into selfie mode, you only have 3 modes, basically. You have normal, effect, and manual. So you can play around with the effects. I'll try to get this to focus in with lighting. You can play around with the effects. And it's always good to do that because, I mean, you have different ones here. Hold on, let me go back in there real quick. So you could, there's a ton of them. Like on this one, you have like pencil, you have sketch. I mean, there's watercolor, there's mirror, there's fisheye, kaleidoscope, vivid. If you move over, we have miniature, sepia, sakura, color filter, cold, fresh, country, golden, vintage. You have classic, you have thermo, you have negative. There's a solarized, select red, select blue, select green, select yellow. You have like a ton of things to do here. I'm actually going to mess around with it. I'm going to go into pencil mode. And I'm going to take a selfie of myself right now since the camera already has like a grainy effect. I'm good. How about you and fam? The fam's doing good. Hey, man, how's it going? Says DJ Gonzalez. Hey, how's it going? I'm doing good. So I'm going to take this selfie right now with the pencil effect and show you guys how it works. We'll count down. All right, so I took the selfie, right? And, like, you know, some cameras like the ZTE Warp Elite, you can do stuff like this. But here's where it gets pretty cool. So let's say that, you know, I want to be crazy on just a regular blog, so I want to record a video. So I hit up right now, I press record, and now it's actually recording a live video in the same filter applied onto it. So I do have the whole pencil effect, which is kind of cool. TJ Chavaria, hey, how's it going? So yeah, it's actually pretty cool. It's actually recording video right now in the pencil filter mode, so this is actually kind of cool. So I'll play back the video for you guys. Now it's actually recording a live video in the same filter applied onto it, so I do have the whole pencil effect, which is kind of cool. TJ, hey, how's it going? So that's actually pretty dope. Like with all these different filters, you can actually apply them onto your video. So, you know, this is one of those things where it's like, it's almost there, Kyocera. It's almost there. Like I really wish that they installed better camera sensors with this phone, because the idea behind it, you know, just with the cameras alone, the idea behind it was actually pretty good. Like having that much stuff to play around with, to tweak up a little bit with your cameras, it, you know, people love that. I mean, you know, they may not be professional photographers, but they sure as hell would love to play, you know, with the phone that has not only decent camera sensors, but also a camera that's packed, you know, feature packed with, you know, I guess you can say kind of like candy gimmicky type things, like, you know, pencil sketch filters and negative filters, you know, solarized sketch type. You know, there's all things you can do with this camera that's actually like absolutely pretty cool. The time lapse feature that's built in is actually really, really, really nice. Um, the downside to it is just like the sensors, I think, is just not the best ones selected, but thank God they're not the worst ones, because I've seen Kyocera devices have the worst camera sensors that just make not even taking a picture like, possible. Like, why would you want to take a picture with that camera? It's going to come out, people are just really going to hate it. It's not even considered Instagram worthy, to use. So and this is just one of those things, like I said, it's like a back and forth with, like, the Hydro Reach. Been out since April, but yeah, after playing around with it, I just kind of like, wow, the way that it responds, so far as like the way it is, because I do have like the Nexus launcher on here. I don't use the stock launcher. I think the stock launcher is ugly on this device, and that's just my opinion. I don't like it. So now I put Nexus launcher, and I keep opening up Google Now. But yeah, the Nexus launcher, and I know it's called the Pixel launcher now, but the updated version of this, the Pixel launcher, does not work on this phone. This phone does run 5.1.1 Lollipop, and there's no plans to update it to 6.0.1 Marshmallow. So, but yeah, it's like bare bones of what it does. Just 5.1.1 Lollipop, and that's what it has as far as the OS on it. This is fine. What company? Kyocera. This phone is the Kyocera Hydro Reach, which is available on Boost Mobile. It's been available since April, but it's kind of gone down in price, and I think the price point that it's at right now is kind of like what I would actually pay for this device, which is like $50. I got it at Walmart for $49.64, and I feel like that I spent my money's worth on it. Getting it at like at $100 or anything like that, I really don't see this device actually being a $100 phone. $50 is what I would ballpark it at. But I'm absolutely happy that this device actually runs decent, with only having 8 gigs of internal storage, which means that 3.4 gigs is usable, and then having only 1 gigabyte of RAM. It's not like it's not where today's budget devices are going. Most budget devices today are like running 16 gigs of internal storage and 2 gigabytes of RAM. It would be nice if this had like 1.5 gigabytes of RAM like the Hydro Icon did, but it doesn't. But the fact that it has the Snapdragon 210 is actually running fairly well. It handles a lot of processes really, really cleanly. And one of the big things that I use to test the device to see how well it could actually perform and function is just saying, can you actually install Facebook on it and run the full Facebook application along with Facebook Messenger? Because I noticed that most phones that can't really handle extreme use would not even run Facebook at all. Like, Facebook would be so choppy. Like, you would launch Facebook, it would be stuck at the position on the timeline that it's going to be on for like a good 2 minutes before it starts to just flicker as you're trying to scroll through the time feed and read everyone's post on Facebook. I don't get that with this phone. It's not buttery smooth, but it works. So you will see some frame drops on Facebook when you're going through it, and that's just because Facebook is still like, it's still a heavy application. It uses up the processor quite a lot. I love Kyocera. They just need a big boy. Yeah, you know what? I would love to see like a more how do I put it? Just a more beefed up version of this. Like, I honestly think with the rear camera is fine. I think the front the selfie cam sensor is something that they could have like improved on. But overall, from what I've gotten from Kyocera before, like the Hydro Icon, the Hydro Vibe on Virgin Mobile, those devices, their camera sensors have completely sucked. So while I do have a few negative things to say about the camera on this device, overall the camera is still a win in my book because it could have been a heck of a lot worse. So anyways, live here, we're going to drop it in water, and it's just going to sit in water right now for you guys. Because people always ask, like, can it really go in water? I know some people are a little paranoid about dunking their phone into a glass of water. So now it's going to sit here for a little bit, just show you guys that it can handle it. But anyhow, I've taken this phone to the pool. I think one of the things that I wish that they actually did with this was like on some of the more flagship water-resistant devices, the screen is still responsive even though there's water on it. This device still does not have that technology built into the screen, so if the screen is wet, you cannot touch it and have it respond. Even if you pull it out of the water and it has beads of water on the display, the display will not actually respond until you completely dry off the screen, and then you'll be able to touch the display and it'll work just fine. There is no dedicated camera button. I wish they would have had that. It would have made taking pictures underwater a lot easier. Because people are gonna do that with this device, no matter what. They're gonna do that with this device. So I wish there was a dedicated camera button, just so you can one click to take a picture, 2 clicks to start a video record. Would like that phone, but with better specs. Yeah, definitely. I don't know. This phone came out around the time that the J7 and the Stylo 2 came out, and I was just wondering, I was hoping this would actually be pretty cool if it actually had 16 gigs of onboard storage. 1.5 gigabytes of RAM is cool. 2 gigs of RAM would have been solid. So, just the fact that it was pushing mid-range specs from 2 years ago is kind of sad. I really would have loved it to had more, but even though it doesn't have that amount of internal storage and RAM, it still runs really good. Honestly, I may try to do this one day. Probably go to downtown area and have people test out the phone in front of me and record their experience. Because one thing I can tell you right now is that if I go up to a random person who's not very tech savvy, doesn't know too much about smartphones, or doesn't pay attention to prepaidphonenews.com or any of those sites, I'm pretty sure if I walked up to at least 10 people that don't really know about smartphones and had them play around with this without them checking the specs and everything like that, I'm pretty sure they would not believe me if I told them it only had 8 gigs of internal storage and only 1 gigabyte of RAM, because this thing does not feel like it at all. It honestly sometimes makes me it's like a placebo effect. It feels just like my J3, which has 16 gigs of onboard storage and 1.5 gigs of RAM. It flies not as fast as my J7, but just around there, and the Stylo 2, but it's weaker spec. You should rename title to live water test and make thumbnail of it in water. Just it is what it is. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna dunk it in water because I know some people are afraid to dunk theirs in water. I've seen a couple of Hydro Reach videos on YouTube, and people have said in the beginning of their video, I'm not gonna dunk it in water. It's supposed to be water resistant, but I'm not gonna take that chance. And I get it. Some people they don't want to take that risk in case it's maybe faulty or anything like that. Me, I'll take the risk. Just because if it doesn't hold up in water, yeah, I'm definitely gonna take it back and swap it out for another one. But so far, yeah, everything is working just fine. So everything's working fine. Water does kind of get it, into the panel. I'll show you guys right now, without trying to get it into the SD card slot or anything like that. So just kind of pop it up, and yeah, I don't know if I want to hold it. I don't want the water to get all the way to you guys, but water does get into the back. I'll show you guys. There you go. The water does get in there. So probably not the smartest thing to do to open it right now, but at the same time, I mean, I'm not too worried about it. If it does flake out on me, I'll just get it replaced. But it does do what it's supposed to do, which is it's supposed to, kind of protect your phone from water while it's in water. So, even after the stream, yeah, yeah. But yeah, it holds up fairly well. The build of the device, I think, is okay. The fact that it's got a non-removable battery really doesn't bug me. I know it bugs some people. Some people want to have swappable battery. Water damage is not covered under return policy. FYI, if water sensors are tipped, they won't return it. Yeah, not too worried about it. My thing is, is it is what it is. I mean, besides, kind of helps that I have a friend at Walmart, anyways. That's where I got it from. So, but yeah, it holds up. I mean, this is I've done so many things. I've chunked this thing in water so many times, purposely trying to get it to where it's in a lot of like rough situations, and it still holds up fine. So um, it does great. So I figured I'd play around with this device, hold on to it for a while, use it as my daily driver until the X Power for Boost Mobile comes out. I'm actually going to grab that device instead of the Warp 7. I don't really see a reason to get the Warp 7 when you have the X Power coming out. My only thing is that I'm getting people telling me about the LG X Power coming to Boost Mobile and how it's spec'd differently than Cricket's. It's supposed to have 2 gigabytes of RAM instead of 1.5. I don't know, because like I said, when I did the live broadcast about the LG X Power, the APN settings for the unlocked version to go on Boost Mobile, I didn't know that the LG X Power was actually coming to Boost Mobile, and so that was also kind of weird. But any questions you guys have about the Hydra Reach, you guys can ask it right now, and I'll answer it on this live broadcast. Otherwise, in a little bit, I am going to end it because really, live broadcast was all about this phone right here. Honestly, say for $50, you can't go wrong. And anywhere else that's going to charge more for it, I really wouldn't get it at that price because you can find it for $50 like at Walmart. Isaac Diaz, yes. What's your question? Or if that's what you meant, if you meant yes, like you do have a question. No. I'm really excited for that LG X Power though. I really am. 4,100 milliamp hour battery. That's just going to be insane. Like I'm really going to try to kill that battery off with like multiple games. Besides playing Pokemon Go on it, I'm also going to play Sonic 4 Episode 2 for Android. As I have that game downloaded, so I like playing it. So I'm going to play it on there. I'm saying yes about the one phone you said you're getting. Oh, the LG X Power. Yeah, I'm super stoked for that phone. I wish I knew exactly when it was coming out. I wish it was coming out like next week or something because I really, really would love to grab that phone. $129.99 for that phone. Like that is not bad at all whatsoever. That's like wow. Definitely would really want to know about that phone. Just definitely really want to grab it and just had his unboxing and give my first impressions. I mean, the size of it is actually not that bad. How do you feel about the new Pokemon Buddy and Pokemon Wish Strap? I haven't really played Pokemon Go in quite a while now. Like to be honest with you, it's been about like a week and a half or almost 2 weeks since I last played. Just mostly just been playing Sonic 4 Episode 2 on Android. I think after I used that Fly GPS to get me to all these different places so I can get a Mr. Mime, a Kangaskhan, and a Farfetch. Like, I just haven't played anymore. And Samsung's 60% battery fix. You know what? There's a first for everything. So honestly, I feel like at this point right now with Samsung, eventually they were going to hit that wall, but their whole idea with the Note 7 and the 60%, there's like a cutoff point. Your phone can only charge up to 60%, and that's pretty much it. I mean, yeah, that's gonna be a big hit for the Note 7. People are not gonna want to buy it. They're not gonna want to use it. They'd rather go get like the LG V20 if they wanted a phablet. So because of that, I feel like that Samsung would just have to come back strong next year. Definitely with their S series, and definitely with their Note series. There's just so many reports of Samsung and all these explosions. Like, I've been seeing this post on Facebook and on Twitter where people are like trying to confirm that a Samsung device that blew up in a kid's hand was not a Note 7. It was a Core Prime. So now there's a Samsung Galaxy Core Prime that blew up, and it's like, but how, are these devices exploding? Because the issue was only mostly with the Note 7. One issue that was documented because of a lawsuit about the S7 Edge. So the Note 7 and the S7 Edge are pretty much in that bubble. But now, like, people are claiming that their Samsung devices are blowing up, and it's like, people have had the Galaxy Core Prime for years. People have, the S5 for years, and it's like, there's all these different posts my thing blew up. But I was like, what are you doing with your smartphone that's causing it to explode? Because those ones never had an explosion issue at all. Only until the Note 7 decides, that one in every 42,000 are defective enough that it may, explode during charging. Now every Samsung device in everyone's book, explodes, and that's kind of some people that go and post that because they think they're going to be able to jump on a class action lawsuit and get some money for it. Those are some real messed up people, because there are legitimate people with that problem that either the device exploded while charging, or it could have. There's people that have to worry about that, and you have all these other people that's always looking for the easy breaks, easy money. I'm gonna get rich off this. Like, even if they jumped on a class action lawsuit and say it won $1 million, you have to break that $1 million up amongst everyone that's on that lawsuit. So you could even wind up with just $10 as your settlement payment. I don't know if people even try. I got Call of Duty Zombies. It's $1.99 Android. Sweet. Sweet. Is it like on a sale price right now, or is that actually it's a at purchase price? I don't know. I just think Samsung's got a rough year. 2016 is not a good year for Samsung. It started off strong with the S7 and S7 Edge. I think with their A9 Tab 2016 that comes with an S Pen, that's gonna be nice. But I already see people making fun of that one, where they're like, one person posted up a meme on Facebook. It showed the Note 7, the one that had the battery explosion, and then they kind of I guess photoshopped the A9 Tab as it going off like was it an atomic bomb. It's kind of weird. Yes, it's usually $6.99. You should pay on live or to playthrough. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, everyone, COD, was it? Yeah, Call of Duty, um, Zombies is $1.99 on Android. I don't play Call of Duty. I don't play any first-person shooter games really. For one, I suck at it. I'll be honest. I'm not gonna pussyfoot out over it. I suck at first-person shooter games. I've said that all the time. Like, you would never want me to play on like Xbox Live or PlayStation Live or whatever on your team if you guys play like those first-person shooter games. You guys would like freaking ban me from your guys' game room or whatever, because I suck at those games. I'm not really good at first-person shooters. Like every game that I've ever played has always been like 2D side-scrolling, and then some games were 3D with Mario 64, Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, and those games, but never really like anything that's like first-person shooter like Call of Duty or Halo or Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six. Like my little brother plays those games and he's like awesome at those games. I suck at them. I can't do them. Samurai Showdown $1.99. I'll play that. I'll play Samurai Showdown. Looks like I have to go buy some games here in a little bit. See what they have on there. Is there like a sale on a bunch of games that's like $1.99? Because I know like what was it, about a week and a half ago or a week ago, they had 3 movies for free on the Google Play Store. Yeah, the Google Play Store for Google Play TV or movie and TVs. They had peace out to you. See you in the next one. Have a good one. All right, Isaac, take it easy. They had, what's that movie? That's my son banging on the door. It's so funny when he does that. But they had Gravity, the first Transformers, and what was the other one? Wreck-It Ralph. They had those free. Like, you didn't have to pay for them. They were giving them out for free. So, you claimed them, and then you could download them to your device, and they would stay, on your movies list on Play Movies TV. They got 1 and 2 now for Samurai Showdown. I don't even think about it. But while we're talking about this, I'm going to go and hit to record a video. and I'm gonna dunk it back in water while it's recording a video because you can take video underwater. So for the hydro reach, so let's do that. Let me turn off the effects. Let's go back to normal, and we'll turn the camera around. Let's do a time lapse. Alright, so let's dunk it in water. Now it's recording video underwater. Anyhow, this would be kind of interesting. See how this works. I'm actually gonna, you know what? Since this thing has a time lapse, I'm actually gonna do like some time lapse videos tomorrow, and upload them to show you guys like how well the time lapse is on the Kyocera Hydro Reach. So that'll be like, you know, another video to do. I actually didn't know I had time lapse until today, so it's kind of interesting here. But yeah. It is actually recording video. Let me turn it around. You guys can see it's actually recording video right now. The timer's still going off on it. So it is recording video. And we'll take it out. Put my finger down in front of it. Put on a towel right there to dry it off. Play back the video here. And let's stop the video. That's one thing I don't like is if the screen is wet, it does not respond. Alright, so we stop the video. Let me turn the screen off real quick so I can give it a good rub down. Dry it off. Shake the water out of it. Because I know water did get in it. Which is bound to happen, but you know, it's got that grommet around the SD card slot and the SIM card slot, so it protects those from, you know, getting water. Alright, so let's pop this back cover off and dry it. Really fast. Don't ever do that, by the way, for those people that do get the hydro reach. I'm being silly right now and ridiculous about doing that, but really you should give it a while before you pop the back cover off after you've put your phone in water, so water doesn't actually get into areas it's not supposed to. I'm gonna shake it out, but get some water out of the little areas that's hard to reach. There we go. Alright, let's see how that video came out while it was dunked in a cup. Okay. Alright, let's go to the gallery. Oh, I left it in. I left it in time lapse, so it only took it took all that video into basically 2.5 seconds. So here we go. Let's press play. But yeah, I'm gonna do some time lapse videos tomorrow with this device. I think it's actually pretty cool. Hopefully, when the LG X Power comes to Boost Mobile, I can grab it. That'd be really, really sweet. Also, I'll probably keep looking for the, if there is an actual update coming to the LG G Stylo. I just don't see it. On a side note, because I know some people are talking about it, they're like, the G Stylo is supposed to get 7.0 Nougat. That would be cool, but I don't think LG is gonna put it out, just for the G Stylo, because that honestly would be like a joke, to update the OS on the G Stylo, but not on the Stylo 2. That would absolutely be a joke. So, anyhow, I guess that's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for coming in and checking out the live broadcast. For my thoughts and opinions about the Kyocera Hydro Reach. I know I didn't go too much into specs and stuff like that, but this phone's been out for a while, and I just wanted to give you guys some of the things that I was concerned with about the device, some points that were important to me, and the cameras is one of them. I have nothing really negative to say about performance because it performs quite well, and the body of the device, I feel like they went more of a sleeker look than a rugged build, but it's still considered to be rugged. So if you guys watched the replay and you guys enjoyed it, smash that like button to let me know. Leave your comments in the comment section. My son's looking for me, so I gotta go be with my son. You guys should be with your family. Thanks for checking me out. Live edition of Aloha Android. I'm going to start doing a lot of my phone reviews live so you guys can get them up front and live. That way I can get some questions right on the spot. This is a better way to go. This is a better format. So I'm going to start doing it this way. But love you guys very much. Have a good rest of your evening. See you guys tomorrow with another video if I do one. Love you guys very much. Have a good night. Bye.